Welcome back to Redneck's Dirty Hands. I am Pete, and today I'm going to try and repair the rails on Lieutenant Dan. So, figured, you know what, we're getting ready for this season to get out on the lake and do some speed runs with Jim's sled, the shocker there. And one of the ideas was, I got this Sidewinder. This is a mountain one. It's got had the narrow front end, 153-inch track on it. So it's got the longer rails. I thought, you know, this would be great for a drag race setup and all that. But now we're getting all geared up for radar running. And it was like, well, this has the narrow front end on it, so narrow's fast. So Jim and I have been busy, and we took all the front end off of the shocker, put it on Lieutenant Dangle, and then put all the narrow stuff from Lieutenant Dangle onto the shocker. We got some fancy paint on there. JP, you were right about the purple there. Our friends at Napa mixed that up for Jim. That is plum crazy purple. So we had to go with the Kawasaki green on the spindles. It looks good. And of course, you know, she's the shocker, so it's got the two pink ski hoops on there. Those who know. So we're gonna keep going on this, but it's like, well, while we're switching that all over, I might as well fix the rails on Lieutenant Dangle. So it's running, driving, and then that'll be I won't boost it up or do anything with it this season. I'll just use it for riding around with you.
Sounds good to me.
I've got the original rail here from Lieutenant Dangle, and then my buddy Farmer, Southern Sled and Truck, hooked me up. He didn't have any 153-inch rails. Nobody around here does. But he had these 144, I think, or 141. They're a little bit too short for doing what I want, and the rear axle setup's different. So, you know, what I'm gonna plan on doing is, as you can see, this rail is no good. But, you know what? New rails, I know a lot of you have commented saying, you know, should go to Ice Age and get a set of rails. You know, they're fantastic rails and all that, but I'm a redneck with a redneck budget, and you know what? This is all free 99 from Farmer, so I'm gonna cut this stuff all out, and then I'm gonna weld this section. I'm just gonna cut it here, cut her down here. I'll cut this whole center section out. We'll put it in, weld it. Bob's your uncle, hopefully. It should be just fine, you know. Buying new rails, it's just not in the budget. So we'll get going on that. We're not the only ones working in the shop here today. JP is working on the YXZ. We have not had too many chances to rip this thing. The radiator fan was all seized up in her.
Yes. This is like one of those jobs that you did like 3 months ago, and you're trying to sit there and figure out
where all those bolts go,
where everything goes and whatnot. Confused right now as to where the heck this goes.
Well, the less parts you put on her, the lighter it is, and light is fast.
But yes, the fan's back in. It seems to be operational. It was full of mud, dirt, and crap and whatnot, but took the fan apart, took the motor apart, cleaned it up, and got it all back up and running, because those fan motors are quite expensive.
Well, they are, and it was probably full of mud. Get a shot of this, honey.
Oh yeah.
Might be a good idea to wash her every once in a while, Jim.
Well, she did get washes, Jim, but guess what? Not all the way.
That mud likes to hide in there. Yeah, this thing's been a little bit neglected. It's been sitting for a while, and yeah, that tire's flat on the bottom. She's good on the top. You know what? Thanks to our friends at AS Max, the T10 air pump, we can fill that up no problem. Just turn her on. We got half battery life there, so it's already set to 10 PSI. I think that'll be fine. Oh yeah. Reading zeros. All right. See how that goes. And just like that, tickety-boo. Set to 10 PSI, automatically shuts off. That right there. The AS Max T10 Smart Air Pump. She's a nice one. If you'd be interested in picking one of those up, I'm pretty sure on Amazon they sell for like 50 or 60 bucks. So we'll put a link in the description there. The AS Max T10 air pump. You know, we gave a few of these away at the Toronto snowmobile show. People are loving them, and this thing, I think it's handier than a pocket on a shirt. Okay. So before I go hard at her here, it's been a while. It's been a day or two since I've welded any aluminum, so I figured I'd lay a little test pass on a piece of scrap here and Look at that. Should have been a banker. I'm stacking dimes, baby. So I think the welder will work. Obviously, you know, I'm sure it's going to be in the comments, you know, it's just going to break again or something like that. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to be beaten. Well, I probably am going to beat it like a redheaded stepchild, but it made it. I think that thing's got 3,000 something K on it. Had a hard life from that 3,000 K, and I mean, it's probably not over. I'm probably going to give it a hard life too, but you know what? We got nothing else to do today, right, honey?
I don't think so.
All right, let's fix a rail on a snowmobile.
Welding it is.
You know, the one good thing about having good friends like Farmer from Southern Sled and Truck is, you know, he donates parts like this for the cause. So normally, I mean, what I'm about to do, most people would cry about, but I mean, you know what? Farmer, thank you. Let's go cut this rail apart. So first things first is I want to cut just this section out. Doesn't really fit in the bandsaw, so I'm just going to lop this end off close to the end where I want to start from. I'll do the same over here, and then we'll hopefully just be able to section this piece out of here. So a little bit of WD-40 on there just to keep the blade lubed on the bandsaw, because aluminum will gum up the teeth on that and slow down the cutting process. So let's just give her a go. No turning back now, honey. So now, this is the part that's gonna take a little bit of patience. I gotta cut it right along the bottom edge here, because my plan is I just wanna cut this bottom web section out. I'll do the exact same thing on that one. That way I can just stack this one in there, and I've got this ledge to weld on. Nothing bolts or clips onto this edge on there, so it'll be a good surface for me to lay a good size bead on. Should be strong, as long as I can cut this straight. All right. Well, you know the saying, honey. Pitter patter.
Let's get at her.
You got it, girl. Forget CNC. That's a PNC. Now that's a beauty cut right there. Look at that, right on the edge.
Fancy.
What's going on, fellas? We just started working, and already I think it's beer time, because your Uncle Stevie and Uncle Mark are here, so beer break. We can't let them drink alone, honey. Uncle Stevie's here, I'm pretty sure, to pick up his old Evinrude there that we... Yeah.
Driver.
Oh, yeah. You don't need snow for that one.
No.
Let's go outside and take a look. Now this is Stevie's first time seeing it since we had it last season. What do you think of the seat?
Looks good.
Nice and comfy, eh? Yeah. We did a few upgrades for it there, though.
You put a turbo on it?
We did. We put it under the seat here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, turbo can.
Those are all
Nice.
from last year. The Twisted Tees, I don't know if they survived. They're kind of dented out a little bit.
Let's see that.
But the Canadians, I mean, Canadians are built for the cold weather.
I guess.
Free to have on it.
Yeah, here.
I don't want.
Are you a Michelob fella?
You try it.
maybe my next one I'll brave. I did already have it started. I had to squirt a little bit of gas in the carburetor there. I don't know if it'll flame up all on its own again. We might have to give her a little bit of juice. Oh yeah, you just gotta give her the deep stroke. Stevie knows how to get her started. See, I was just giving it those short little pumps.
Yeah, no, you gotta be quick like a Johnson.
Well, she a runner?
He's a runner.
All right, it was boiling over and overheating on you. What was going on there?
Again, when you do a job 3 months ago and you forget what you did 3 months ago, you might have forgot to plug the fan relay back in.
So we were sitting there like, oh no, is the head gasket popped?
Yeah.
No, you just gotta have the fan plugged in if you want to keep it cool. So she's running. Tighten right now, buddy.
Yeah, it's good. Now I just gotta figure out where all these plastics go.
Over your shoulder. Looks cooler this way.
These YXZs kind of look like a mini Batmobile, right? Like
They do, yeah.
you could sit there, stretch it out, and make it actually like a real Batmobile.
Well, Cletus McFarlane has that Leroy, right? It's a Corvette, all this tube chassis. Just strip her down to the tube chassis. Like, geez, there is a lot going on today. JP is working on the YXZ. D-Ron's back from hunting. He's moving stuff around. We got the tractor out moving stuff. Isaac's working on the old Polaris. We got Uncle Stevie and Uncle Mark. We might be selling a snowmobile to them. Ooh, the day's just getting started. How's she going over here?
Going.
Working on this thing. It's been sitting for a day or two.
Just a couple.
Oh, we got D-Ron rocking the tractor. Even D-Ron just went out and picked himself a set of brand new forks for the tractor.
Well, I'm glad I got the light work then.
You loaded it backwards. Work smart, not hard. We went to the School of Hard Knocks or the University of Fort
You happy you got forks now?
Oh, I need them. I gotta take this away this weekend.
So the nephew Isaac's out here working on the old Polaris, and good thing he's having a peekaboo, because look at those car boots. Oh, yeah, that would have been a Caesar salad.
She would have pulled a good number on the first pull.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a screamer. Oh, it'd be screaming tight.
Those new ones work?
No, they're different.
Are they different?
They're different. Slightly.
Maybe that's
Why they don't have holes in them up here?
Put that right stuff on it. That'd be good.
No, right stuff does not mix well with gas. We found that out. Ask me how I know. So timing's everything. You know, started working on Lieutenant Dangle, the rails for that, and then JP's working on the XYZ. Isaac's working on this. Uncle Mark and Stevie come for the old Emerald, and Darren shows up with a brand new set of forks on the tractor, so we ain't got to break our backs to load that Emerald. We're gonna, let's try those suckers out. All right, well, cheers to D-Ron for grabbing those new forks. Sad thing is now, now that it's all loaded up, I'm not gonna see her again, so I might as well.
Boy,
Take her
fucking
here.
give her a
For
go,
old
bud.
time's sake, eh?
Let's see what you got.
I mean, it hasn't expanded or nothing.
blew up.
Put her into you.
Oh, just like the day it was made.
Oh, there you go.
There's a piece of Uncle Mark's thumb on the underneath this too.
Yeah, we drew blood on this one, eh?
Yeah, let's see the hole in your thumb.
A little bit of one.
It's a long way from
Sorry.
here.
Oh, fuck. It's on the other end. We're good.
We got a doctor up.
Flatten her out a little bit.
This is the redneck Band-Aid. Paper
She's all
towel and electrical tape is all you need to fix any wound in the
Exactly.
shop. There you go.
Now she's beer
Good as
time.
new.
All right, well, as you might be able to tell, it's a different day now. Yesterday got a little out of hand, a little busy. We started working on Lieutenant Dangle, and then Uncle Stevie, Uncle Mark came to pick up the old Evan Road, and Beer 30 came a little early yesterday, so I got the coffee going today. It's a new day. We cut that donor section out of that rail from our buddy Farmer there, so I've just got it all trimmed down. I put a bit of a bevel on the edge there, because when you want to bevel the edges so you get a little bit more penetration, you know. So that way we can use this as a guide. I'm hopefully going to be able to mark it out. I'll just trace it over here. We'll trace it over here. We'll cut that old section out. But this one, there's a lot going on up in here. I want to be able to clean all this stuff up because I'm going to have to weld and reinforce all that. This side here's got a big old crack in there. I'm going to gouge that out. I'll weld that up when we're doing it. And then I'm going to clean this all up and I'm going to lay a bead of weld down the seam of this too to stiffen it all up. And of course we got a wallered out hole here. I got to fix that. Another one down here. We got to fix that. So, yeah. Don't worry. I got my safety squints on. All right, baby. So sometimes to fix something, you gotta make it a little worse. So I got a little zip cut blade on here. I'm gonna gouge this crack out with that, so that way I can get some weld down and fill that all in. Yeah, get right up in my biz, would you? And then I'll run it down this seam too. I'll carve that all out, so when I lay a bead in there, it'll lay down into that, and then we'll get everything all cleaned out, tight and right, so hopefully the aluminum, it'll be fine. Watch your eyeballs, honey. Then after we gouge it with that, we got our nice little carbide bit here. Open her up a bit. So I think if we just lay it back together, I'm gonna lay this guy, I'm gonna use this hole kind of as a guide. There's already a hole in here, kind of lines up with that, so looks like there was a post or a bolt that went through either for a stiffener bar or a wheel or something. So we'll just carry on with that. We'll just have to drill this hole out a little bit. So if I line it up in there, I think we can just, we'll scribe a little line. Same thing over here. So then now we just got to get rid of all of this and all of this. We'll cut it all right on that line there. We'll get that flat surface. Then hopefully we can jig this all together and I don't know how I'm gonna clamp it together to keep it all straight. We don't wanna have it all twisted when I'm welding it, but I'll cut on the inside of these lines just so, you know, measure twice, cut once, so we can make sure this fits in good where it needs to be, and then start shooting some lightning at this thing. Okay, honey, same thing, a little bit of WD-4T. It's gonna be a little tricky because there's just a tiny little ledge there, so I might have to just try and cut it as I can, then I'll have to go over it probably with a grinder to level it out, but let's just see. Tickety-boo. Aluminum is so finicky when you weld. It's got to be super duper clean, so I got to make sure I get all the little bits of paint and stuff right in the corner. The die grinder, the cookie on there, just isn't quite good enough to get right in the corner, so I gotta use my little corner file here. It's doing the trick.
Okay, it's working.
You want good solid welds on here, no dirt in there. Okay, baby, got her jigged up in the vise here. I don't know how true it is, but we got it clamped in here. What I might have to do is just put a couple of tacks on it, and then we'll pull everything off. And then I'll have to put some plates both sides, clamp it together so we know that the rails are straight, and then I'll start tacking it down the side. But I think I'll wheel the welder over, get a couple of tack-a-doodles on her, and I think we'll be good.
She look good?
It looks like something. All right, and just like that, honey bunny, it is all welded on, and I just put this slider on just to see if it would fit. This is the old one that was on here when this was all busted, so it's no good. It's all worn down and everything, but it is on there, tight and right. It's all welded in. I'm feeling fairly confident, like it should hold, and it looks like it's still relatively straight. So, I mean, hey, we have repaired Lieutenant Dangle's skid, just like Forrest Gump, the movie. Lieutenant Dangle, you got new legs. I'm just setting it there, just up against it, and I mean, looks pretty darn good to me. So now, the only problem is, Jim was the one that pretty much took all this apart last year. So I hope he's got all the pictures on his phone of where all the bits are and where it all went. So maybe we'll wait till Monday when Jim gets here, and then we'll finish that all up. So that was a bit of a chore, but I mean, I think it's totally worth it. Repairing all that, we we'll be bringing Lieutenant Dangle back to life. And now we can have a beer. Before Wednesday. You rolling? All right, so now that we got the rail all fixed up for Lieutenant Dangle, I figure might as well hit it with a coat of white paint because I wasn't really feeling the original color on Lieutenant Dangle anyway, so I think the white will brighten it up, and I got the other one hanging over there, so now, look at that. Like, you can hardly even tell one of them's been repaired.
Right?
Not bad, not bad. So now, hopefully the paint's dry enough we can put them in the vise and put some sliders on here. We went down to our buddies at the Cat Shack, picked up some sliders because they're 153. I did have brand new, like, good sliders off that set that Farmer gave me, the 140-inch rails or whatever, but they're just a wee bit too short. So Ryan hooked us up down there at the Cat Shack. So we got these new sliders, and we just gotta slide them on. Hopefully I don't bugger up the paint doing this. So I don't have soft jaw vise, so I just got a little rag in there. Hopefully we don't bugger up the paint. Clamp her in there, and then I will go grab one of the new to us sliders and knock it on there.
So what are you gonna say to the people in the comments that are gonna say that you should have just bought new ones?
It's not in the budget. I mean, I did a Facebook post saying, showing that I was repairing this, and some guy's like, new rails are only 150 bucks. Like, why bother? It's like, well, not here in Ontario, they aren't. Like, I can't find a new rail for 153-inch for 150 bucks. You know, to buy a whole skid, it's like $500 to $1,000 used that anybody wants for these things, and then piece it all out. The price of all this stuff is not going down. People know what they got, and they want a lot of money for it. So this was all free 99. My buddy Farmer hooked me up with these pieces. You know, a little bit of talent and some time, you know, a couple of beers, and we cut it out, welded up. I like playing around with this kind of stuff, you know, trying to fix what I can instead of going out and buying it. Like right now, literally, we got no money into this, just my time, you know, some argon and some filler rod with the TIG welder. So, I mean, if you can do it yourself, why not? Mm-hmm. All right, so when you get your new slider, like this one obviously came quite a bit longer than this one was, so you just cut them down. So all I do is I just line up the holes, and then just trim this. This was about that much longer. And then same with the other side. Just cut off the excess, and then hopefully, in a perfect world, take it easy. This will slide right on. Oh, then when she gets a little bit tight, you just gotta persuade her. Do me a favor, babe, give that a couple tippy taps. I'll tell you when to stop. A little more.
Doing it with my left hand.
A little more, baby. Oh, whoa. One more light little tippy.
Okay.
There. Oh, man, you went too far.
Damn it. Can't get good help.
Oh, you're the best assistant I've ever had, baby. So, I mean, that's got to be a good sign. That slid on there, I would say pretty freaking good. So, that means I did a good job. It's straight. So we just got to put a bolt up in here to lock that one down. And then we can try and start assembling this thing. Mm-hmm. All right, let's throw the slider on. The one we did not repair. Oh, and apparently did not paint the whole thing either. It looks like I missed a little bit of paint on the bottoms. Hopefully we never have this thing upside down.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, baby. Now this is the one I didn't repair, so let's see how this one slides on. I mean, basically the same. Goes good and then gets tight right at the end there.
I'll do this right today, this time.
You don't like it, owes you money. Oh, slow down. little tippy tips. A little more. One more, 2 more. Half of one, that's good. Beauty!
Lovely.
Look at that. Tickety-boo, baby.
Look at that.
Right? Looking pretty good. And there they are, side by side. Like, those are freaking identical, baby. Oh, it's almost like I know what I'm doing. So you gotta throw these little screws through the front here. They're kind of important because if you don't, then these sliders will just shoot straight out the back of the snowmobile when you pin her. So gotta remember to put these in just to lock them in. Although I think this bolt's a little buggered up. I buggered up the threads on this original. It's a taper headed bolt that goes through there, and I flattened the threads on there. So I've got these handy dandy thread files in my, I got a thread restoration kit from I think Mac Tools. So these things are lifesavers sometimes. You know, you get the end of the thread folds over or something like that. You can't get a nut to start on there. You just walk this guy through there. You can carve the thread right back into it. Oh, just like that. Now she's biting. Nice one.
Good as new.
Well, good enough. All right, and there we go. So now those sliders are locked on. They will not slide out when you pin the throttle. And now, Jim's not going to be back till tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure he's got all the pictures of taking this all apart on his phone. So, I mean, we could sit there and try and figure out, piece together what we got here, baby, if you're... Were you ever good at Lego or puzzles?
Lego maybe, but
We might have to piece this puzzle together here.
we can do it.
We can do it. All right, speak of the devil, look who's here, Jim.
How's it going, Jim?
Not too bad. It's a good thing you showed up. We needed the pictures off your phone so we could actually assemble the skid for Lieutenant Dangle. And I gotta say, the weld job is looking good. It's holding up. I think it's gonna work pretty good. And we've got everything, I believe, where it's supposed to be.
Looks like it.
So now, we just gotta get that up in there. What's the saying?
Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Oh, there's one more thing I forgot to do though. We gotta flip this upside down, and I put the new sliders on. I've got the bolts in the end. I had to make another, we were missing one of these end cones, so I just made this out of a box of old ones that we have. So I gotta grind that down, profile it just a tiny little bit. We got a bit of a ledge on that slider there. And then I gotta taper the back of these ones here, so when we put her in reback, the clips don't grab it and cause any issues. I totally forgot to do before I put them on. Usually I'll do it in the bandsaw. I'll cut that at a bit of an angle, but you just want to taper those off so when you put her in reverse, when the track comes around, it doesn't grab it and like try and peel it off or cause any issues with the clips. So we're just gonna taper her down a little bit. Oh, that is not doing a good job. We need something a little more aggressive, Jim. That's a little better. The right tool for the right job. There we go. And then we'll just smooth her out. It's way easier if you do this ahead of time with a freaking Sawzall or something. Mint if you squint, Jim. This one was a hard ledge like that there. Now it's nice and smooth transition.
Nice.
Tickety-boo. Now we can put it in. Oh, you got her all strapped up, Jim.
All strapped on.
All right. It's been a day or two since we've had Lieutenant Dangle actually dangling. So let's get her up in the air. Hopefully, I don't know how this is gonna go back in, Jim. Lieutenant Dangle's all bent and twisted and mangled, so hopefully everything lines up.
Hopefully.
We're about to find out.
Guaranteed it won't be as easy as the Polaris.
That one was.
Those ones are
Yeah, Remington's was super easy.
Yeah.
Let's try that out there, Jim. Well, it's good to have a friend help you. I would have been cursing. So now we just got to get these front bolts through. I'll give one to you there, Jim.
Where are we? We gotta wait.
We got to go up and back. There we go. Back.
Yep. Right
I mean, so far so good. Now, these back ones here is a different story.
there. It's looking like it might not be too bad.
All right, let her down a bit. Holy crap! Keep going.
Your way of hair. Yep.
Oh, do we ratchet strap this thing, or just let some air out of it? It is an air shot. What do you think, Jim?
Sure, let's try letting some air over. Nope.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, lower her down a little bit, Jim. This might be as easy as Remington's Polaris. A little more. A little more. Oh. I mean, we're close.
Mine good.
Yours is in?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Ho, 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 ho. Now we just gotta adjust up the track, Jim.
What are they again?
These are 13 mil, and then the ends are 17, I think. I've got the belt off of it right now, so I can just spin it. Look at the rolling resistance here. This is pretty good. Oh, she gonna dangle.
Go tighter than that, or?
I mean, for now, I'd say we're good. I think Lieutenant Dangle is ready to,
Dangle?
ready to dangle, Jim. Lock down that back axle. We could probably have a beer. All right, Jim, set the air in that shock with the AS Max T10 Smart Air Pump. We've been using this thing more and more every day.
So, what do I do?
So you're in the custom mode, so then all you gotta do is select I think the max on this Fox float is 150 PSI, so let's go to 100. So just dial it up, yeah? You press and hold, it'll do.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Dangle one.
Oh, we're going to 104. And that literally took less than a minute, like 30 seconds. So now you can just unscrew it for now. I'm gonna plug, I doubt the battery's got any charge in it, but I'll plug the hood back in, and we'll see if Lieutenant Dangle will fire up. Do we have any battery power? been sitting for how long and it's actually got power? Let's prime the pump a couple times here. Do we think it'll start? They literally have not charged this battery. This thing hasn't started in a year. How's the adjustment look, Jeff? Showing 3,400 kilometers on the odometer. Lieutenant Dangle, back in action.
Nice one.
And that repair right there, free $99. Let's squat her down and check that shock. We don't really know the history on it. This thing, the rear skid was all mangled. So, is the shock actually gonna shock? Oh, Jim. Oh, I dangled it right off the bed chair. Beauty. All right, and just like that, she's all back together. Lieutenant Dangle is looking tight and right. You gotta love the wrap. I forgot how good this thing looked with the digital camo there, but now I'm totally loving the fact that I painted those rails white. Looks way better, matches the bumper. The track's on there, everything's spinning. Suspension is suspensioning. So, Lieutenant Dangle will be ready to dangle this season. Yeah. The only thing is though, Jim, we might have to take those back off and paint those front A-arms white to match the rails now.
I thought you weren't going to say that. Oh, you're right.
We don't have to do it right now. You're too busy doing shocker mod.
We got to get her fast.
You know, this video's been all over the place. You know, we started off fixing Lieutenant Dangle's skid there, and then Uncle Mark and Uncle Stevie came, picked up the old Evinrude, and we just been giving her, Jim, and now, you know, Jim's hard at work on the shocker. There's going to be a few surprises with this one in the future there, but the whole point of doing all this was to switch that narrow front end from Lieutenant Dangle because it's narrower and lighter, and now it's all on the shocker, so look out, boys, we're dropping some weight. D-Ron, remember, I put the sign in there, says no dumping.
You didn't see that?
No, that's all right. No dumping violators will be prosecuted. You are monitored and recorded by camera. D-Ron.
Did you check?
I'm not looking in there. All right, well, you know, this video, it's kind of, like I said, it's been a little bit all over the map, but you know what? I did the DIY repair on the skid rail for Lieutenant Dangle, and you know, that's funny. You know, some guy on the Facebook page said, you know, why would you do that? You know, new rails are $150. Well, not in Ontario, they ain't. You know, it's $500 from the dealer for a rail for this thing. So, you know what? I got the TIG welder. I'm confident. I'm not going to be pounding all kinds of miles on this thing. I'm just going to be ripping it around town. This is going to be my field, the ditch bomber, the field banger. We're going to go out with D-Ron. He likes to go run the field. So
Go ripping.
I think it's going to be mint. I love the fact that we painted it white. Looks good. Matches the bumper and the steps there. And then all the lightning bolts in there. So, Jim, next time you get a chance, we're going to have to peel these off and paint them white because, you know what? We stole them off the shocker. We did a little horse trading there. We're going to be lighter, faster with this one. And this one, I don't care. I'm not mountain riding and going in between trees, so I don't need the narrow front end. But we're making progress. We're actually ahead of the curve this year.
About time.
We should be ready. Hopefully the first sign of ice on the lakes, we should be good to go with the shocker, and believe me, it'll be shocking. As always, you know, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. We love making the content and getting out there. We love the positive feedback. You guys are loving the content. The channel's growing. We appreciate it. This weekend, we're going to be in Peterborough, the Memorial Center, Sledorama. We'll have a booth set up there. We'll have some merch. We'll have maybe some cold bevies. So swing by, stop by. It's November 17th, Peterborough Memorial Center Sledorama. And as always, take her easy. Cheers.
Cheers.
Where's mine?